Who's ready to make the funniest high school shooting movie ever?
We had about $5,000 saved up to make this film, and I just kind of started convincing people to be a part of it, and kind of just told them, oh yeah, the money's there, but it's volunteer based, we're low budget. We had no permits, no nothing. We just went out and shot, and it was kind of an exhilarating way to make a movie. I'd made a feature doc, so I'd kind of known you can shoot a doc. Why not throw actors in the scene? What's going to change there? And we ended up in the end getting over 150 volunteers working on this film, and it just turned into this giant thing that just came from nothing. And the courage of saying, oh yeah, we're making the film, it's happening. And eventually people just followed along.
So the film actually follows a filmmaker doing that guerrilla-style filmmaking.
Yeah, it was, so the film, it wasn't really about a real life thing, but then life started to be a lot like the script in the movie. We had the cops come to our set on 3 different occasions and shut us down, and like an actress, after our table read, she read the full script and she said, this is gonna kill my career, I quit. This is one of the most guerrilla features you'll ever see, and it kind of keeps the film really honest because it's about guerrilla filmmaking, and that's kind of the beauty of it. It was extremely meta. We just didn't know it when we were when I wrote it, I wasn't like, this is going to be super meta. It just became that way.
Do you know what the first Columbine-inspired film is?
The first Columbine-inspired film? I don't know what it is.
The first Columbine-inspired film is called Duck, the Carbine High Massacre. It's a splatter comedy made by 2 porn directors to criticize the way the media handled the whole Columbine situation.
What?
2 young men apparently think the Columbine massacre is something to mimic.
On Tuesday, a New Jersey grand jury indicted the 2 filmmakers who made and star in the film.
This is like the most random thing. When we first had our screenings, we had a BMX Olympic rider watch it, and I guess he was going to the Olympics, but he broke his wrist right beforehand and was quitting BMXing, but he watched it and it inspired him to be like, I'm getting back into BMXing, I'm going to the Olympics. And I was like, what? How does this film inspire that? I saw this film about a high school shooting, and now I want to be an Olympian again. And we've gotten a lot of people just inspired by it. A lot of young filmmakers have written to me saying I'm now making my first feature because of this.
You went to film school.
I did go to film school.
Did it do you any good?
Yeah. Well, the original title of this film was actually After Film School, and it was actually supposed to be it was supposed to be about what I've found with people after film school. A lot of people very unmotivated, not doing things with their lives, and time just is slipping by. Next thing you know, you've been out of film school for 5 years, and you're like, shit, I'm doing nothing. I'm working at a bank now. It's never gonna happen, and that was kind of a lot of where it came from. I enjoyed my film school, and sure, I drowned in student loan debts, but because of it, I met almost every single person who worked on this film was from my film school, and this film would have cost $1 million if I didn't go to film school. So yeah, I think film school, it was a good thing in the long run. I really want people to slam this film and condemn it and tell people to not see it, because that's what excites me. I go see films that I'm told not to see. It's that whole curiosity thing. Don't tell me what I can't see. I'll go see that film. And anytime there's controversy, I'm right to jump in on a film. I remember when Borat had all the controversy, I was there the next day. When Wolf of Wall Street had so many angry feminists and all that sort of stuff, I was like, okay, well, I got to see it for myself. I got to make my own decision. And those guys got my 1150. So that's kind of what I was hoping with the film. We're still fresh in the circuit. Hopefully someone hates the film enough to want to bring us down publicly, because that's only good. Bad publicity is good. I've always kind of been getting in trouble. Growing up, I was always in trouble for my sense of humor. I was like that kid that would make those jokes that would just piss people off, and a few of my friends would find me funny, but teachers would be like, I was just always getting in trouble for my humor. So this was kind of my film where I just had this open canvas to be like, you know what, I'm just going to let my humor run rampant, and if people don't like it, great. And I was shocked to see how many people ended up liking it, because I really was hoping for a much more polarized audience. I got to push harder next time.
I was roommates and good friends with a man who was a professional drug dealer and thief, who was one of the best people I've ever known.
The film and the public watching it kind of forced the rabbinical court to take a stand. This is something that never happened, and that's like, this is huge.